Hey, what's going on, guys?
Back in
The
Keys.
Keys. We got the whole crew out.
Ben, Jesse, Gabe.
This is our setup for the weekend. I think we're here for 5 days.
Yep. We got,
right on the water here.
Got all that stuff. We got a fillet table over there. Pretty nice setup.
Plan is to catch some lobster, shoot some fish.
Today is lobster season. It's still closed, so we're gonna go spearfishing real quick. It's like 2 or 3 o'clock, so we don't really have a ton of time, but we're gonna go make the best of it.
2:37.
And tomorrow we're gonna go catch some lobsters and have a good time.
Yes, sir.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Dauntless Outdoors. This clip here is me checking out a lobster. We're in about 15 feet of water. Did a little bit of spearfishing before this, didn't find anything, so we kind of just decided to scout for the next day and find some lobster. Good morning, y'all. Welcome back to the second day. Yesterday we got a red grouper. Ben ended up shooting one. Found some lobsters and stuff, as you probably saw, but nothing too crazy. Getting some ice right now. I think it's about 6:40 in the morning. Got the gear in the boat. About to head out. I'm gonna try and catch our limit of lobsters and then go have a good time. Catch you guys out there.
So right here I am retrieving my red. Unfortunately, I guess I just didn't record me shooting him, but my hands are up underneath this coral head right now, and I'm trying to grab a hold of him, and he's not wanting to come out and mess with my shaft, trying to figure it, and eventually I just decided to get my hands right on his gill plate, right behind his gills, and just pull him out through the bottom here, like you'll see me pull him out right there. So he was pretty wedged up underneath there. It also didn't help that my shaft was kind of threw him in a funny way, but pulled him out, and he looked like a pretty solid red for 10 feet of water.
So Colin just got that red grouper, pretty good. He ended up being about 21 inches, and got our first lobster. Nice way to start out the morning.
That's a pretty good one.
So this here's our second lobster, and we're headed down. The anchor was dragging. It was about to hit him right in the face, so I pulled that out of the way. Started tickling him out of there, and you just want to take it real slow, push him on the tail, and just wait for him to come out. Colin's pulling up behind him, grabs him. Job secured, done. He had a snare there in case we needed it, but we didn't need it for that one. Sadly, I didn't get footage of the last lobster, but I did get a little bit of footage of just holding this one. But pretty good way to start the morning.
Alright, we just got back in the boat. We got 4 lobsters and a pretty good red. Ended up being about 21 inches. Pretty psyched. Colin and I still got some work to do. We gotta grab like 8 more lobsters, but pretty good start. Making it in.
So we hop back in the water. Ended up being really close to another couple lobster here. Colin goes down, just pulling them out. And it's kind of funny what happens here. He walks out into some grass, so it's kind of hard to get him at first with the snare. Don't really seal the deal there, but go back down. He kind of moves, gives me a decent little go ahead there. And I kind of missed it, but Colin grabbed it, just went right into his arms. It's pretty funny, and nice way to secure the lobster. So we went back down, found another lobster. He was under the same exact rock. Didn't know it, but couldn't fit the whole snare up under there, so I just decided to use it as a tickle stick. I started pushing him out. That net there is my dad. He's holding it, but he didn't want to come out of that ledge to save his life, so we followed him to the next rock here and go back down. I go to check under this side. Colin's already got a visual on him, and he's just tickling him out, but realized it wasn't really going to happen, so he just went up into there, grabbed him. It's pretty simple. I mean, if they smash themselves up into a corner, you can get a hold on them and just make sure you don't get poked too bad. But it's probably one of the easiest ways when they're up under a rock. So I moved on, found a little ledge here, and Colin's tickling this lobster out. Got a nice duo of a tickle stick and a snare, and as you see, comes out. I just put it right over the tickle stick and the snare, and just get both of them. Secured the lobster. So this lobster here was a pretty big pain, but it is what it is. He was in a bunch of tall seagrass, and Colin's over there tickling him out, and he didn't really want to hear it. He was content on staying in that hole. As soon as he came out, he freaked out, went up under this grass and stuff. And if you ever used a snare, it's obvious that it's not really going to work up under this stuff. Trying to pull him out, but he didn't want it, so he just kept going. Tried putting it over him there again, and it just wasn't going to happen. Freaks out, follow him to an open, well, not really an open pocket, but pocket was full of grass, and I just decided to grab him because he definitely wasn't going to get snared there. This here's another lobster. He had already darted from the hole, and we followed him a while, but he's in the grass. Snaring's not really working too well, but it is what it is. Snare's a pretty good object to use if you got them up under a ledge and you got a spacious amount up under there, but you don't feel like tickling them out. So it does work though. Ended up securing a good bit of lobster throughout this trip, and after that we moved on. This is a channel we're diving, and it's just not happening. I shot at a big mutton there, and it just ripped off. Current's whipping past us, and pretty bad situation there, but it is what it is. Go back down here, and I'm diving along this ledge. Get to the bottom. I'm trying to hold myself in the same spot. Just be careful on the bottom not to get blown off the ledge. And there's some mangrove snapper and stuff, and I spot a mutton as soon as I come over this ledge. I didn't really have much of a choice there. Got blown over, and take the shot and just completely miss him. So it is what it is. Just kept moving.
So we're diving in really heavy current right here, and I'm just scoping the bottom for any structure because structure's all over the place, and like I said, this is heavy current. I come across this little ledge scenario here, and I duck up underneath the ledge so that current stops, not underneath, but like below it, so that that current doesn't push me around, and I push into this little middle structure in the center of this crescent ledge, and I'm sitting behind that rock, as you can see, just to stop the current from pushing me, and I believe I'm holding onto that lobster trap that you just saw. And as I'm looking, I see a solid mutton snapper out in the distance. I don't think he noticed me because he kind of just sat there, and I got a really solid shot right through his, I believe it went right through his face. And he instantly swam to the other side of this crescent ledge and rocked up. I get to the surface here, and our buddy diver Ben was actually right there.
He's rocked.
He asked me what's going on, what do you shoot at? I tell him there's a mutton right down below. You probably heard. And he goes right down and is able to unledge that fish, pull him up. You see he's coming up bare hub. It was pretty good mutton. I believe it ended up being about 26 inches, 26 and a quarter, something like that. But a really solid mutton. Once again, for fairly shallow, I believe that was 25, maybe 30 feet of water. That's pushing it though. But all in all, solid fish for the second day of this trip.
Mutton. Hey, we're recording too.
All the boys, day 3, we're headed out. Probably gonna end up doing a good bit of spearfishing today. We're not really sure. We caught our limit of bugs yesterday, caught some decent fish. Colin got a really nice mutton. But other than that, we'll see what happens. Get you guys out there.
So this is my first dive on this spot. I was the last one in the water other than our driver. I go down, and right on this random piece of structure, I see a decent little mutton there, and I get a beautiful stone shot on him. Pins him right to the sand and puts him right out of his misery. I do a quick little 360 because it was as I was going down, and I see another one. The camera doesn't quite pick it up, but I do see another one about the same size. I didn't see him again, but as I'm coming up, I noticed that he has a lobster leg in his mouth, which we had been chumming with.
They like the lobster. That's Ben's chum.
So this is us diving on some artificial stuff off of, I believe, Big Pine Key, and I'm checking all the stuff that near us would definitely look like it would hold grouper, because we hunt gag grouper, not blacks. We're specifically searching for black grouper here because it's a species you don't typically see. But you know, I'm looking at all the cracks, all the crevices, all the holes that, you know, typically you'd find rocks hold up here on the west coast of Florida. But down there in the Keys is just a whole different game. But I'm hovering the structure here, which you see is pretty good relief, and I come over the top here and I see a gag down on the bottom. He sees me, or a black, I'm sorry, he sees me instantly, and he darts towards that structure, and I get a pretty bad shot, you'll see later on him, but he ends up staying on. He's rocked down there, and we end up having to do a recovery dive to get him back.
So right after Colin took that shot, I went down. Thought it was going to be much simpler than it was. Go down, start pulling his line off these rocks here, and little did I know, I didn't even know what he shot at this point. I thought he shot a mutton because we weren't seeing anything else other than mutton this whole trip. But start pulling on it, and it wasn't coming out of there. It was all the way out the other side, and I had to end up swimming through the whole thing, and it just wasn't gonna happen if I didn't go through it. So ended up doing that. This is second dive right here. Go down, and Jesse's checking out the situation, but I wanted to make sure I had enough space to just calmly go up under there because I didn't know how long it was gonna take. Wanted to have maximum time up under there to try and get his fish. Colin goes to the other side. He starts pulling it out, and as soon as he pulls it out, I grab the line and the shaft so the fish can't go either way. I'm taking my time backing out, trying not to do any crazy movements here or anything. But get out the backside and pull it out, and it's a pretty good black grouper there. I mean, we somehow luckily landed this fish. You'll see the shot here in a second. Barely had him on there, but it's a good fish for the Keys.
I was like just slow, like I was like just he's completely clear. You're good. I was backing out.
That's why I said you're lucky.
What happened?
So after that, we kept moving. We weren't really seeing anything else on that artificial stuff, so we just decided to drag behind the boat, try and find some lobsters and mutton or something like that out in the open. Colin gets a pretty big bug here. Ended up being the biggest bug of this day here. And go down, as you see right there, points, there's another one in there. So I go to the back just to see what the situation was. And as you can see, he's sitting right there. I went to go to grab him, but you can hear Ben's grunting. He was coming down with a net and a tickle stick, so let him do his thing. I still could have grabbed him, but just let him tickle him out of there. And as you see, he came right out. Get the net behind him, tap him in the front. Boom, pretty easy. But after this, we moved on. I'm on a different spot here. We're hoping to see some mutton or something like that, just mixed in this mangrove school. Pretty cool to see all these fish here, though. Healthy population. But as you see here, they're just everywhere. There was probably about 50,000 of them. This school is a couple 100 yards long, so great to see the population's thriving.
Way to go, Joe. Good old mutton. You shot a mutton? That on video? I think so. Am I recording? Mom, yeah. Keep throwing lobbers. There I did. Keep throwing lobbers. He was munching the lobbers.
So after that, we moved on. This here's a coral head. I'm going down, and I saw a pretty good mangrove snapper on the right side of it. It was probably about 22 inches, and go down here, throw up some sand, start grunting, and sadly I didn't get any results from that, but I peek up under this hole and I can see some antennas and a pretty big face of a lobster, so I knew it was legal. Reach up under there, didn't get a good grab on him there, so I changed hands and get a nice grab on him, pull him out, and go back to hunting. I mean, I just got down there, had a good bit of time left, and was hoping that would have attracted a black grouper, a mangrove, a mutton, anything, but didn't really see anything from that. So after that, we moved on, found another little ledge here. Got pretty much everybody on this ledge here. All the boys are in the water, but start tickling out this lobster. There's another lobster behind it. Sadly, we didn't get him. He went way up under there, and it's probably a 6-foot deep hole, but is what it is. Caught him, and another one was right behind me. But after that, we kind of just moved on and kept going. So now we're in about 60 feet of water here. I'm moving along. Been down here for a little bit, just grunting, swimming along, because there wasn't too many fish here. So as you saw, there was just a little flash above that coral head. But saw a pretty good mutton out there. He gave me a sideways shot, pretty far, but I took it. Got a nice holding shot into him. He's clinking around down there, but he didn't get stuck on anything, so felt pretty comfortable just pulling on him and tugging him up with me. But as you see there, Colin went down, secured the fish, brought him up, got a nice first mutton of my trip. So can't complain about that dive. It was overall a pretty good dive. So after I got that fish, I decided to go down and kind of just sit in the same area, grunting. I've been down here for a while now. About to head up and look over, see that mutton out there in the sand. Wait until he gives me a closer shot. Had to move up soon, so I decided to take it. One hand push, take the shot. Pretty far shot. I just went right under him. He was probably about a 20-inch mangrove or mutton there, but it is what it is. Kept moving. After that, we didn't see too much going on at that spot, so change spots. We're now in about 80 feet of water here, and going down. Ben chummed up a mackerel. He's cutting it up on the surface, and as I'm going down, I spotted a pretty big mutton snapper here. I didn't see anything else on my way down, so I decided to go to take the shot and see if he was on. Reline up, get a nice shot right behind the cheek plate, and freaks out, breaks a little rock down there, but he wasn't stuck, so I just decided to pull him on up with me. Get to the surface here and look back down, and Jesse went down there going to go grab my fish. Secures it, no troubles. Pretty big mutton. I think he ended up being about 25, almost 26 inches, and great way to end the trip for me. My last fish of the trip. Got a couple lobster after this, but overall, had an awesome trip with the boys. Couldn't ask for anything else. So grateful that we even got to go.
Good work.
This here's a little clip of me catching a lobster at the end of the day. Going down. It's a good bit of lobster. I didn't have any lobster gear on me. No tickle stick, no nothing. So I rushed my hand in there trying to catch him, but it wasn't going to happen. I chased this guy around on this little grass head for a while, but ended up catching him. He was a pretty big lobster, so can't complain. If you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe, drop a like, and comment if we're doing anything wrong. You got any suggestions, make sure to let us know, and we'll do our best to change it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you guys in the next one.